Can picture book creating be a hobby or just a business? I'm here to tell you all about the hobby of picture book creating, whether you're interested in writing or illustrating for children or being a hybrid like me, where I do both. Whichever aspect of picture book creating that you're interested in, it can be a joyful hobby that brings you really great reward. And I'm going to also share with you some cons, some downsides to having the hobby of picture book creating, because like with anything, there's the ups and the downs, the pros and the cons. So, what are some joys of picture book creating as a hobby? It is an amazing way to leave legacy, to leave a little piece of yourself on earth for any children that are yet to come in the future generations or children that are in your life right now. It is so rewarding to leave those children a story, whether you simply write the story and share it around a campfire or leave it in just like written form with no visuals, or whether you have an illustrator illustrate the visuals for you, or whether you hobby in illustration. However it comes about, it is extremely rewarding. So long before I was selling my picture books or in the creation of picture books to have it part of my business, I was hobbying. In fact, I grabbed something, you might want to laugh with me about this project here, but this is something from about 15 years ago when my daughter was about 3 or 4 years old. She was really wanted to learn how to ride horses, which she did in fact go on to become a great horse rider. And we owned horses for about 7 years of her life. But long before that, I was dabbling in writing and illustration. I was just learning how to draw. And I really wanted to create a story for my daughter that was meaningful. I could lay in bed reading this to my daughter at bedtime. And what was so beautiful about this is that it spoke my daughter's language. It was what she was passionate about. And her mommy made the story. And you know, I started where I could. I didn't know about having a printer. I didn't know about taking my files to a printer back then. And back then, there wasn't such a thing as Kindle Direct Publishing and publishing on Amazon. So I did what I could. I thought, I'm going to go to the art supply store and grab some alcohol markers and draw this horse and color her in and take pictures of it because I had a pretty decent camera, and I'm gonna put this together in a little flip album for my daughter. And I did it. The reason is that I started this as a passion project, as a hobby, as a way to connect to my daughter, as a creative outlet. And that this is the greatest joy and pro that I could say of being a picture book creator as a hobby, is that you can just release your messages and what is special to you out into the world any way that you can. And there aren't any rules or how you have to do it. You could put your pictures in a photo album and let the kids flip through it that way. So this is an example that I like to use, that you can just start and do it and don't let anything hold you back. Now, as I mentioned, there are some downsides to picture book creating as a hobby. And one of the biggest downsides is how long it takes. Now, I want to start this part out by saying that I don't teach or guide in any kind of shortcuts. I don't use AI to illustrate or write. I don't teach or guide that way to take any shortcuts through AI or through really any shortcuts like hiring ghostwriters and so forth. If that is something that you want to explore, that it is your freedom to do so. But here, in the context of which I'm sharing today, and what I share here on the channel, how I guide in my community, is that everything that we do is authentic, from our own imaginations, processing through our mind and our heart, out of our hands and into the world authentically through the human experience. So with that being said, one of the downsides of being an authentic human picture book creator as a hobbyist is it takes a long time. I find that in my own picture book creation process, books take anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on the complexity of what I am creating. And so the reward is worth waiting for. I want to say that again. The reward is worth waiting for, but there is a lot of patience required for this hobby. So keep that in mind if it's something that you want to pursue. I do encourage you to sort of test your attention span a little before you make any big investments. But with that being said, one of the pros, the perks of being a picture book creator as a hobbyist is that it is relatively inexpensive. Yes, there might be some investments. For example, if you decide you want to create illustrations digitally or write on a computer, you're going to have some investments, like possibly, but to get into it really, you only need the basics. You can write with a pencil in a notepad. You can illustrate with a pencil in a sketch pad, and you can begin honing these skills for really under $10. And then from there, you can grow into the different mediums and choose your investments depending on how your heart is leading you in this hobby and venture. And the other thing that I love about picture book creation as a hobby is that if you ever do decide to take it into business, all your years of hobbying are growing the skills, but growing the skills in a beautiful way without the pressure. So way back when I illustrated this and put it in a flip album for my daughter for fun, I remember this project and I had zero pressure. I was doing it for a little girl who just like loved me and I could do no wrong. And, like I was just like wanting to delight her and surprise her with this story. And there was no pressure. And I was able to learn and grow as an artist and in my experimentation process without the worries or burdens of like recouping costs or paying anyone. And I was just able to just like freely explore, which is what I love about being in a hobby season with something as a creative outlet. And so I do encourage you to explore picture book creation as a hobby. Just know it takes a long time. You're not going to instantly have something to show for it tomorrow. And you're going to need to sort of buckle up for the ride because it's a bit of a journey, learning what you need to learn, but it is so deeply rewarding. You're able to leave legacy. You're able to get messages out of your heart. And I believe picture book creating is a calling, and I'm here to support you in that calling, whether it's a hobby or a business. I hope that this video today about hobbying in picture book creating has helped you to see it maybe in a possible different light. If you've been thinking, oh, this needs to be a business and I need to do it like real professionally, it's okay to take a step back and say, actually, I want to pursue it as a passion project, as a source of joy, as a way to just like leave my message. And I also want to throw this in here. Drawing is not the only way to illustrate picture books. There are amazing picture books out there that have been felted or cut with paper or made with clay and then photos taken of these creations. You can illustrate any way that your imagination allows. Really, illustration is storytelling through visual means. So yes, I do teach and do the kind of pen to paper or, digital process of drawing and illustrating in traditional way, but I am also all for untraditional ways of illustrating your children's picture book. So let your imagination go and have fun hobbying in the picture book creation process. If this video has inspired you, drop me a note below. Share with me, how long have you hobbied in this? Are you just getting into it? Are you looking to move from hobby to business? Because that's going to be upcoming in some future videos as well. But for now, let's talk about this hobby and what a joy it is. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Subscribe, hit the bell, notification, and share this with a friend who you think would make a great picture book creator and would love this hobby. Until next time, picture book creators, happy creating.